When traveling abroad, it's important to make each bite count. Welcome to MojoTravels, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 iconic dishes in London. Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to MojoTravels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be looking at some of the most popular and classic, new and old, British dishes and meals that everyone should try while visiting London. Number 10. English breakfast. They say that the first meal of the day is the most important one, and boy do the English ever do it well. In North America, the classic breakfast that comes to mind is eggs, potato, toast, a bit of fruit, and a meat, usually bacon or breakfast sausage. Across the pond, they've got something similar, but with a few key differences. The full English breakfast skews heavily towards proteins. Eggs still feature prominently, but you'll often have bacon and sausage. And in the place of the rather sad breakfast sausage, you'll get something more substantial, maybe even blood pudding. You'll also get a healthy serving of beans, as well as fried or grilled tomatoes and mushrooms. Given that traditionally most of the elements are all cooked together in a single pan, you may hear it referred to as a fry-up. Eating a full English breakfast every day during your travels might leave you feeling a bit sluggish, but you have to try it at least once. Number 9. Cockles. Mussels and oysters. These are the shellfish that people tend to be most familiar with. Cockles, on the other hand, a small type of clam, might have a bit less international clout, but don't let that scare you off. Treat it as an opportunity to embrace a local dish. In fact, cockles are actually recommended for diners who find other bivalves too briny. Small, tender, and a little sweet, the tiny morsels of meat in cockles don't have the trademark oceanic saltiness that turns some people off the similar aforementioned mollusks. Though cockles appear in numerous dishes, those looking to really get an unadulterated taste should order them in a preparation that keeps the cockle and its flavor front and center, like in a seafood platter or a simple bowl of steamed cockles in broth. Inexpensive and delicious, it's little wonder they've long been popular in both London and the Greater United Kingdom. Number 8. Eton Mess. Now it's time for a dose of the sweet stuff. So named for the world-famous Eton College, this light and refreshing dessert is thought to have originated at the renowned boys' boarding school, where it is still served to this day. So, what makes an Eton Mess? It's quite simple, really. The concoction is made up of whipped cream, strawberries, and meringue. The latter, as food historians would likely tell you, was a later addition to the recipe that has since become standard. Given its simplicity, dependence on fresh fruit, and generally light consistency, Eton Mess is best enjoyed on a hot summer's day or early evening. That being said, it's a must-try for visitors regardless of season, so rain or shine, make sure to get yourself a bowl or cup of the stuff. Number 7. Chicken Tikka Masala. Most of the dishes on our list today are rooted in classic British tradition. But as any local Londoner will tell you, thanks to the large Indian population in the city, they have some of the best Indian dishes you've ever tasted. Though we highly recommend going out for Indian as a group and tasting a wide variety of offerings, if you have time for just one dish, you really should make it the local favourite, Chicken Tikka Masala. In fact, it's so popular in the United Kingdom that there's some debate as to where the dish originated, with some claiming that, though Indian in influence, it may have been created in the UK by Bangladeshi cooks. Regardless of its origin, this dish consisting of roast chicken and spiced curry is sure to delight the palate. Number 6. Sticky Toffee Pudding. Got a hankering for something sweet and looking to go a bit more rich and decadent than Eton Mess? Look no further. Like many great dishes, there is a fair amount of debate as to who invented it and where. Many claim that it originated in Scotland, while others place its origins squarely at the feet of Francis Colson, who served it in the 1970s at the Sharrow Bay Country House Hotel in Pooley Bridge, Cumbria, England. Wherever its roots lie, it's clear that all of Britain has embraced it as their own. And who can blame them? white cake, dates, a gooey double cream, and brown sugar toffee sauce. It's simply divine. Whether you get a rustic version or an elevated gourmet interpretation, this modern classic is a great way to end a meal. Number 5. Beef Wellington. Meat wrapped in puff pastry might sound a little odd, but it's a classic with good reason. Beef Wellington is notoriously difficult to do well. Many a home cook has tried and failed. But if properly executed, that flaky crust paired with a perfectly cooked medium rare piece of beef is truly a match made in heaven, both in terms of flavor and texture. The duck sauce, which is spread over the beef before it gets wrapped, adds to the complexity, taking your beefy experience to new heights. Sure, it'll cost you a pretty penny, but when you're on the road and immersing yourself in the culture and cuisine of a city and/or nation, sometimes you have no choice but to treat yourself. While the history of the dish continues to be contested, its flavor most certainly isn't. Number 4. Afternoon tea. Technically, this is a light meal rather than a dish, but it's a very distinct one, which every traveller needs to experience firsthand when they visit London. Typically observed between 3:30 p.m. and 5 p.m., afternoon tea dates back to the 1800s. And though it was originally a luxury associated with the uppermost echelons of society, it has since evolved into a less elitist concept, one that people from all walks of life can appreciate. Even with the increased popularity of coffee culture, tea remains the fuel of most people in London, but afternoon tea sees tea laid out in delicate cups and paired with various light, tasty treats like sandwiches, small cakes, scones, and jams. Just don't let the name fool you. Afternoon tea is not an every afternoon sort of meal. It's more for special occasions or catching up with old friends. Number 3. Fish and chips. It might be a humble dish, but really, those types of meals are so often among the most delicious in any city. First popping up around the country in the mid-19th century, fish and chips is British fast food, taken to go and eaten out of paper wrappers, traditionally newspapers. Though its roots are strictly working class, over the years it has become a truly iconic dish and one of the most widely consumed meals in the nation. So what makes a classic British fish and chips? Well, you usually start with a piece of cod or haddock, though other white fish may be used as well. It then goes into a simple batter and gets fried to golden crispy perfection in vegetable or peanut oil. Of course, if you've found a traditional old school joint, they might do their frying in lard or beef fat like in ye old times. Either way, served with chips, thick-cut French fries, it's a real treat and taste of London. Number 2. Bangers and mash. Though we do enjoy a nice serving of golden chips, mash is a very popular potato preparation in both London and the UK in general. Mashed tatters feature in not one, but 2 iconic London dishes. The first, which we wouldn't feel right not mentioning, is pie and mash. A simple dish with its roots firmly planted in London, it consists of an unassuming personal-sized puff pastry meat pie with a side of mashed potatoes, all doused in green parsley sauce. Humble, but tasty. Now for the starring attraction, bangers and mash. This beloved dish consists of sausages, mashed potatoes, and rich brown gravy. In terms of sausage types, they can be pork, lamb, or beef. It may all even come with beans, peas, or, of course, onions. Classic pub grub, bangers and mash is a must try. Number 1. Sunday roast. No 2 establishments or households do this classic the exact same way, but that's part of the charm of this iconic meal. It's a reflection of a family or institution tradition. Roast meat, usually beef, but also lamb or chicken or game birds, serves as the centerpiece in this hearty and filling meal, which often always includes roast potatoes, though some serve them, yes, mashed. Don't forget the gravy, fluffy Yorkshire puddings, stuffing, and vegetables. The veggies in question can be anything from parsnip or Brussels sprouts to those enduring stalwarts, peas and carrots. This Sunday tradition is just about as quintessentially British of a culinary experience as you can have, and really, there are few places where you can get a better, more satisfying version than in London. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoTravels and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.